Welcome to the Up in Your Family Business podcast, where we dive into the heart of family business with intimate interviews, expert insights, inspirational stories, valuable resources, and practical tips to help grow your family business. I'm your host, Todd Reimer, co-owner of Element 212, the marketing agency for family-owned businesses, and I appreciate you tuning in. Today, I'm joined by Jaclyn Ricci, founder and CEO of the LadyBug Pest Wildlife Control, a family-owned and operated business based out of Lebanon, Indiana, just northeast of Indianapolis in Boone County. Jaclyn, welcome to Up in Your Family Business.
Hi, thank you.
All right. So I want people, right out of the chute, I want to give people a glimpse into who you are. Since you're my guest, it'd be nice to learn a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Okay. So share a little bit about yourself, and I guess who is Jaclyn Ricci?
Yeah, so I'm Jaclyn. I'm 41 years old. I've born and raised here in Indiana. Growing up, my dad was an entrepreneur. He was an electrician. My mom proofread idiot guidebooks. So both of them had really strong work ethic. It was something that was instilled in me. My mom was the type of mom where if I asked her to spell something, she would make me look it up in the dictionary. Nothing was given to me. No information was not given to me. I had to research it on my own, which was a great strategy for her. It made me the entrepreneur I am today. I have a son named Jadin who works for me, and my husband Johnny as well, who co-owns LadyBug with me. And we live in Darlington, which is out in the country, kind of central Indiana-ish. We live on 24 acres with a creek. Love to side-by-side and kayak and walk my property. It's nice. A simple life, yeah, for sure.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and besides that, my biggest baby is LadyBug. I've been doing that for 7 years now. Never anticipated starting a business on my own. It kind of fell into my lap, and I've learned everything along the way through heartache and mentorships, and yeah, I'm here today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do have two sisters. They're much younger than me, 10 and 12 years younger than me, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was kind of out of the house by the time they were out of diapers. So I grew up as an only child for a long time.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Did your mom do the same thing with the two of them? Made them find all their own information?
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't really in the house by the time, they were out of diapers.
Okay.
But,
Well,
yeah, one's a nurse and another one works for a hospital. So
okay.
Both are great girls.
Does your dad still own his business?
No, he doesn't. He actually does safety or construction management. Yeah. So he worked for Butler for a while after being an electrician. He actually had an opportunity when I was in middle school to work for Butler University, and we would get tuition exchange. Oh. So that was a deciding factor.
So you went to Butler?
I didn't. I actually went to the University of Indianapolis.
That's right.
Yeah. I dropped out. I didn't make it all the way.
You were ready to just get the business.
I was always really bored in school. School was very, very boring for me.
Do you have a high IQ?
I don't know. Never had.
They say people with high IQs get really bored in school.
Yeah, I mean, I was really good at the math, the science. The reading was never my strong point.
Okay.
I have ADHD.
I won't have you read anything.
Right?
Today.
Yeah, thanks. I have ADHD running real thick in my blood,
okay.
So I find it to be a superpower of mine. But no, reading was never like a strong point of mine. School wasn't. I barely graduated high school. Yeah, teachers had to call my mom and be like, she better get these grades in, or these papers in, or she's not going to pass. And now here I am today running a very successful, scalable business. So it's so interesting. And I think you'll learn as this podcast goes, that's really where a lot of my inspiration comes from with hiring young people that do not go to college. I relate to those people very much, and I want to help give them a future.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. What's the longest? So you've been in business since 19. So do you have employees that have been there since 19?
I have 3 left.
Wow,
3 left.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is really good.
Yeah, I just listened to a podcast the other day where I think 1% is the percentage of likelihood at 10 years that somebody will still be with you from the very beginning.
Wow.
You know, especially as a family-owned business, you know, everybody right off the gate, first thing they do is go and hire friends and family.
Well, plus the bumps and bruises and the
Yeah.
struggles that come at the beginning. They have to be patient to help you get through all those things.
Yeah. And then once the business is actually running and you realize you have a concept that works, your family doesn't always have the same mindset as you or work ethic as you. And you know, and like many entrepreneurs, I've lost a lot of friends along the way.
Okay.
And so yeah, I have 3.
That's great.
3
I
left.
think that's a lot.
Yeah, I
That's
think
fantastic.
so. Yeah, I think so.
That's great.
And I've got a lot of people that have been with me for 3+ years.
Those three, are they all hybrid technicians?
One's in the office.
Oh, one's in the office.
One's my admin, and then 2 are field.
2 are in the
technicians.
field. Okay.
Yep.
That's really good.
So yeah.
There is one more. One thing I want to point out that when we talked before meeting today, that really I thought was really interesting about you. You said your mom kind of challenged you to kind of figure things out yourself, get your own answers. But share just one more thing about your childhood. You got a job your first job at what, 14?
14, yeah.
And then tell me, how much of the stuff that you owned did your mom pay for, and how much were you responsible for?
I mean, at a very early age, she was making me responsible for buying my own stuff.
Yeah, like pants,
jeans,
clothes, shirts, makeup, all that crap?
All that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not how things are today.
Yeah,
there's way too much general parenting going on, and I see that in my workforce daily. Parents are not making their children look for answers, find answers, and get their own things. And that was something really unique that I did. I was in 8th grade. I remember being in 8th grade and telling people, I'm gonna get a job. I worked at Ice Cream Paradise in Lebanon.
Sounds good.
Serving
I like it.
Serving ice
I like
cream.
Ice Cream Paradise.
Yeah. And I think I worked there for like a year, and I actually never stopped working. There was never a time after that moment where I never had a job, where I didn't have a job. Yeah, I always worked.
Do you take vacations?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Lots.
Oh, good.
Now.
Good. Okay, now.
Yeah. When back in 2019 when we started the business, my husband and we had about $60 in our bank account.
Wow.
Yeah. I called him and I was like, we need groceries, and he was like, that's not going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We got to figure out something else, and we had this huge Coors Light plastic bottle that my husband had got from drinking so many Coors Light tabs, that he had cashed them all in and got this huge Coors Light bottle, and we had been filling it with change since the day we met.
Oh, you did one of those?
Yeah, we just kept filling it with change, over and over again.
How much ended up being in there?
It was like $259 in there. I took my son Jadin to the grocery store. We cashed it all in, so he got to experience the mess of that. And it was a really sad shopping trip. I definitely cried the entire grocery trip. I was angry. Angry that I was smarter than every boss I had ever had. I could see imperfections that needed to be fixed, and would challenge those things. And I saw fear instead of risk. And I watched my husband work 50, 60 hours a week and come home with minimum, where we couldn't take vacations.
This is before you started.
Yeah, this was before we started. And so that trip actually where we were in the grocery store is kind of when I had that aha moment that I needed to do something different with my life. Like this was not okay for me. And shortly after, I had a dog that I got in college named Buckus. Buckus. Yeah, named after Dick Buckus from the Bears.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Buckus.
Yeah, Buckus, yeah.
I think that was a Rocky's dog.
Yeah, I think so. And oh my gosh, I love this dog so much. I mean, he was just when I got him when I was a sophomore in college, so he was like my best buddy. He went through a lot of bad crap with me, right? And so when he died that night, I was absolutely devastated. And I just thought, how can I make this better? Like, what can I do to make this situation into something positive? Because I was just so upset. And so that was the night I told myself, I'm going to go to Purdue and I'm going to take this class to learn how to get my pest control license. And I'm going to give myself a better life. I think that's what my dog would want.
To be an owner? And that's what led you to?
Yeah, I just thought he would want me to have a better life than struggling like this. So I'm going to do that for him. And so, and for my son and for my husband. And so that's when I decided to go to Purdue and take that class, and everything perpetuated from there. It was a lot of different things all at once, the money and the dog, and then a combination of a lot of people online saying that they needed pest control, and me starting to do research that there was no companies in the area. There was no local companies at all in Boone County that owned a pest control company. Yeah, it was just like Terminex, Orkin, Green X, the big guys. And there were a few private operators, but they didn't even have a website.
So you started in March of 19. So did this epiphany or this inspiration or this motivation start in 18?
Yeah, it started in 18, yeah. And then I went to Purdue, got passed the test. It was just a day class and then a test after. I went home, I studied, I made note cards. I studied with Johnny to help him pass, and then he passed. And then I got on Wix, Wix.com, and built my own website from there. Prior to all this, I was in the fitness industry. I was the sales director of a fitness club, basically a country club, is what it was, with a little bit of fitness and a lot of tennis. And through that job, I started dabbling in Canva and different softwares to make marketing pieces. And I started actually making all their marketing in-house for 8 different locations.
Thank you, Mom.
Yes, thank you, Mom. Yeah, I figured all that out on my own. Yeah, exactly, right? Yes. And so I had a little bit of concept, and I not to toot my own horn, but I really love my branding, and it's very simple and eloquent, and the website just turned out really well.
Good.
And immediately the phone started ringing. I mean, it was unreal. My community really helped me as well get off the ground. I mean, I have a lot to thank for my community helping me to get things moving in that direction.
Are most of your customers in Boone County?
Yeah, Zionsville is our most prominent. Westfield and Carmel and Brownsburg are the backups to that. Okay. Lebanon is starting to get there, but there's just less people in Lebanon than there are in Zionsville. So most of our income comes from Zionsville.
Okay. I wanted to ask you one specific question about your son Jadin.
Yeah.
Because when you shared about the general parenting, and then you also shared about how your mother kind of grooms you to be self-sufficient, self-preserving, and motivated to tackle things on your own, which I think is wonderful. So how do you, I'm not looking for how you parent Jadin, but in terms of his role in the business, I'm assuming you probably don't, well, you're my son, so since you're my son and I love you, you have an easy pass. I'm assuming that you still have high expectations.
Yeah. I would, I'm sure some employees would think he might have it easy, but they don't get to see behind closed doors.
Right.
And the scrutiny that he gets from me.
So you have just like your mom, you have really
extremely high standards for Jadin. Yeah. So in 19, COVID happened.
Yeah.
Jadin was a junior in high school, and they stopped all of the classes online. Or in person, in person, and went all to online.
Right.
And he was able to complete his daily tasks in 90 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. And still get A's, and trust me.
And now you're sitting there wondering why.
Well, and trust me, he can't get A's. Like, that's crazy. I mean, for real. I mean, he could, but they made it so easy. You don't really want to ask me how I feel about public education.
We'll keep that out of this one.
We'll keep that out of this one. I
don't want to get you fired up.
Yeah, don't get me all worked up about what they're not teaching our children today that are so necessary. But So 19 happens, he goes completely online, and I was like, you're not going to sit around here all day watching TV, eating snacks. And so he actually started the business with us.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he would work sun up to sundown, and then he would do his homework for school in the evening time. And still ended up passing and doing everything.
So now he's making money.
Yep. Now he's a lead in the business.
That's great.
He's an exclusion, a wildlife lead. So he teaches other people, how he's training, he's managing, doing a good job, and he has a really high future. He actually just started his own business.
Really?
Called Midnight Reflections. Yeah, he does like painting, car painting details.
Oh, yeah.
And car lighting.
Oh, that's neat.
So I'm excited for him. Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not sure.
So he's doing both?
Yep. I'm not sure if LadyBug will be his forever. You know what?
You okay with that?
Yeah, I am. I actually I'm okay with everyone in my business being an entrepreneur. Okay. I really believe that you're not truly free unless you're working for yourself.
So you have an entrepreneurial spirit. You don't own the corner. You actually want to spread that.
Yeah,
encourage others.
If they can do it. No, it's not for everybody.
Right. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's maybe only for like 1% of the population. Correct. You know, and so not everybody can do it. But if it's something that somebody wants, I'm in their corner 100%. That's really cool. And want to help them.
So you're not intimidated or fearful of that.
No, even in competitor spaces, like if somebody wanted to go start their own pest control business, like more power to you.
Really?
Yeah, there's so much work for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, when a new competitor comes into my space,
doesn't intimidate you.
No, I actually reach out to them. End up having lunch. An example would be like Blue Duck Pest Control. They're down kind of on the lower part of the state, like Indianapolis. And Matt and we've become great friends.
Like Southwest Indy.
Yep. And bounce ideas off of each other. And he's only been in the pest control industry for maybe like 6 months. But even I'm calling him for advice on things.
Is he from Mooresville?
I don't know.
He's down that
I'm not sure.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, he's got a great brand.
Okay.
I'm so excited for him. He's going to overtake me.
Uh-oh.
No, he will. I'm so excited for him. Like, he is a diamond.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. But no, they're competitors. We really can't look at them that way because truly they can help you grow your business.
So your competitors are not pests?
No, they're not. No. I actually just hosted a retreat at my house.
Neat.
Yeah, this new house I moved into, it's just Johnny and I, but there's 7 bedrooms in it. So we have made...
It's like the Waltons.
It's, yeah. But we've been having like a lot of people over and they kayak or ride side by side. So it's kind of like, we've been calling it Ricci Resort, which is really fun. We've just been inviting a lot of people to come over and hang out, and have fun.
You learn a lot that way, right?
Absolutely, and that's it was 2 weeks ago. I had a retreat. I had 5 women from 5 different states, all throughout the country that own pest and wildlife businesses. Several I had never even met before. They all came and stayed at my house for 4 days.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah, we got to boat on the water and we did a pottery class and made candles.
Wow.
And did yoga outside.
So now you
house.
have 4 or 5 new friends.
It was my brain chemistry changed. It changed my brain chemistry. There were times where I just really have felt, especially the more I grow the business and scale the business, that it's very isolating. It starts to become very lonely. You know less and less people that make that much money or that are that successful at business. And I just feel like it starts to get kind of lonely up there. But to meet women that think the exact same way as I do, have the same struggles as I do, made me feel so normal that it actually gave me power and motivation to keep pushing forward.
I like that.
Yeah, it was we stayed up like every night until 3 a.m.
Wow.
Just laughing and crying and talking. It was the most powerful thing I've ever been a part of, and I'm like, we have to do this.
It's like your own movie.
Yeah, it was kind of, I'm like, man, if I didn't own a pest control
If you guys-
business, I would totally
Start this type of.
run a camp
There you go. There you go.
for adults.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Being an owner, it's a lonely place sometimes.
Yeah,
could be
you're
lonely.
the villain, you're the hero.
But you don't. It's good you did that because as an owner, you don't have a lot of outlets. Like, we're so focused on leadership, leading others, taking care of our employees, taking care of our customers, and that is all important and all true. But there aren't many people taking care of us. That's the hard part. When you're an owner.
Yeah, I made it really special for them. They came in, they had like welcome gifts and all sorts of fun stuff, and I just pampered them all week.
If you ever do a men's one, let me know. I'll come.
Yeah, well, we decided to we were going to call it women in wildlife, but we decided to call it Uprising in the Wild.
Oh, I like that.
Because next year we're going to try to get people to bring their spouses and bring like campers and tent and all sorts of fun stuff.
Okay.
So we're going to build it out and make it a whole event for wildlife people.
I'm feeling the entrepreneurial spirit flowing through you yet again.
Yeah.
That's really good. So sticking with your business specifically. So when you speak at conferences, and I know you speak at a lot of conferences for which you're a member, maybe some that you're not. How many women do you see in the audience?
Yeah, I don't ever fit in the room. We'll just say that.
Okay.
It's very rare.
I
would say, the last conference I went to was in February. It was in Vegas. It was the Wildlife Expo.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point I went in for breakfast, and I think there was probably 20 round tables set up that fit 8 people each, and I counted 5 women.
Okay.
And it was pretty early in the morning, so maybe they were still getting ready. I'm not sure. But as the conference went on, I think maybe tops 20 out of 500.
Out of 500.
Yeah.
So here's my follow-up question to that. You shared earlier about what led to you, motivated you, inspired you to start the business. But what led you specifically to start a business in what I would say a male-dominated industry, and why pest and wildlife control? Why specifically that?
Yeah. The grocery store, the dog thing was happening.
Correct.
At the same time, I'm seeing on Zionsville moms, on Lebanon moms, on chatter groups, HOA pages, just a lot of people having bug problems and who to call.
Okay.
Asking, constantly asking.
So did you lean into so you didn't say, this is the business I want to start. You just leaned into an opportunity?
Yeah, I just saw it. I don't know. I don't know. It had to have been my dog. I don't believe in any of that crap at all, but something made me go, of all industries, of all things, why did I go online and look to see if there were pest control websites? Because that's really what happened is I got curious.
Okay.
I was like, and why I got curious about that one thing, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. All I know is that I saw on Facebook so many people having issues, and it's like, where are the vendors?
Yeah,
right. And so
who's helping them?
And there was no other business
That's incredible.
Even researched. It was like I said I wanted to do something better for my life. That happened, and I just was like, oh, that'll work. And I guess I in my mind I was doing a lot of math because I was thinking if I could get Johnny to treat 2 homes a weekend at $150 each, that's $300 a week, $1,200 a month. That pays for groceries.
Wow.
Dare I say maybe even a vacation if we save up for a few months. And so that was my initial thinking when I started the business. And as I was building the website, a raccoon got into our house. Yeah, it got into our house.
That's a crazy coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been the dog. I don't know. Buckus was trying to give me a better life too, I guess. I don't know. But a raccoon got in our house. My husband went to Tractor Supply and got a trap, put it in the attic, which is not how you get an animal out of an attic. And he did catch it that day. And he was like, I think I could do this for other people. And I said, Johnny, people don't get animals in their house.
They do.
Like this. And now I'm running a business, multi-million-dollar business, removing wildlife from people's houses all day, every day.
Raccoons are pretty smart, by the way.
Yeah, and really strong. They actually have the strength of a 5-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love raccoons.
Yeah.
If I could know for sure that it wouldn't kill me, I would get a raccoon as a pet. But I'm not about
They're
to
a
do that.
menace. They're a menace.
Yeah, they're a
for
menace.
sure.
That's right. Okay. So some of the greatest things in life, we can't even explain why they happen. So it sounds like something, you just did what you did and there was an opportunity.
Yeah, I saw the opportunity and I was
it.
like, I'll build this a little website.
That's why.
And I think it was a landing page and maybe three more pages. And that's all I needed to start. Nobody else had that. And then they also had a Google listing with maybe like 4 reviews. So I was like, It was a lot of guys in a truck.
Okay.
I think it was like what I describe as rednecks in a truck that didn't understand marketing.
Bare minimum.
And I understood it, and I used it to exploit my business.
Okay.
And it blew up. Nobody was using social media.
Oh.
No one was
This is hard to believe.
doing parades or, guerrilla marketing where they were going out into the community. Nothing was being done like that. So.
Okay. I'm sure there were a lot of lessons. I'm gonna bring you back to 2019. So I could probably do a whole other podcast interview on all the lessons that you learned in your first year. What was if you could pick one thing that you learned from your first year that you'd like to share, what would that be? What was the greatest lesson you learned?
Yeah.
As an owner, entrepreneur.
Well, I think I learned that working with my family wasn't going to be easy.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it was just me, Johnny, and Jadin that first year.
Yeah.
And we all had different opinions, different ideas, and just realizing that we were working even at home. Like it never stopped. Never ever stopped. It was like 24 hours. Unless we were sleeping. Yeah, it was really out of balance for years.
That's a occupational hazard for a lot of business owners.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I went through it. I don't think we would be where we're at today had I not completely immersed my entire life into figuring it out. I definitely my profit margins would not have been as high as they are today without that. But yeah, I would say working with my family and then just figuring out. We knew absolutely nothing.
That's all right.
I mean, absolutely
Figured it
nothing.
out.
Yeah, I learned QuickBooks, software. I mean, absolutely nothing. I had no idea.
My business partner is the same way.
Yeah.
She just figures things out.
Yeah, I'm just a figure-outer. Yeah.
You've been doing it since you were 14
yeah.
or younger.
Younger, yeah.
Again, thank you, Mom.
Yes, thank you, Mom.
You hated it at the time, but you thank her now, right?
Now, yeah.
All right. This is the part I've been really looking forward to because everyone loves stories. Everybody loves experiences. And I know there are a lot of them, but I'm going to tee it up by I'm going to give you some hints from our conversation. Your one and only day in the field, the first time you caught animals, and then your documentary. So I'm teeing you up. So share some of the stories, the interesting, funny stories from in the field.
Oh, I've only been in the field once.
That's why, right.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that,
There's
right?
a reason for that, yeah. So Johnny and I, we were in business for, probably only a month. And we started out by asking people in our neighborhood first.
It's like insurance people. Hey, ask their friends and neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. I sold vacuums once when I was in college. I remember the whole, where to start with your leads, right? And so I started with my neighbors, and we had this one neighbor down the road. I had no idea who she was, but we had treated for ants. A few days later, ants are still there. She called back, and she was like, "Get here now, or I'm ruining you. I'm going to I will literally ruin you." And Johnny and I, we still were working our full-time jobs for the first 3 months.
So this is that part-time weekend type thing?
Yeah, this is just nights, weekends.
Right, okay.
And she calls at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And very, very mad. And so I had my license. I could legally do this.
But you're at this other job.
Well, Johnny is, right? But I can come home and do it after work, right? Johnny's working, oh my gosh, he was working 15-hour days.
Oh boy.
So I called Johnny and I was like, okay, walk me through how to mix the chemical, how to do everything. Because just because you take this test at Purdue does not mean that they teach you how to do any application whatsoever. In fact, now today, here in Indiana, you don't even have to take a test to treat with chemicals. All you have to do is pay $45 and submit an application.
No regulations?
No, absolutely not.
No minimum standards?
No,
nothing?
No standards in our industry whatsoever, at least here in Indiana. And so a lot of work that I'm doing right now is to help us be able to have regulations in our state.
Oh, where you work? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a really scary place. We our industry actually does have a lot of legislative events and things that we can go to in Washington.
So you want those standards?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's right now. If you could get a license for $45 and you could go apply at a school.
Wow.
With absolutely no training, with no testing on to visually watch you, absolutely nothing like that.
And then, so what you're worried about, because you have a passion not only for your company but for the industry.
For the industry as well,
So
it's really scary.
You're worried that these imposters and these people that really don't know what they're doing, they're going to put a blemish on the industry.
100%. Yeah, they will.
Okay.
They will.
So finish your story.
And not only that, but they could kill pollinators, all sorts of things. I mean, they really
Right.
don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
It's a scary
it's
place,
dangerous.
yeah.
So anyway,
Johnny's walking me through how to do all these, how to mix the chemicals. And so I go over to this woman's house. I'm treating, and she is standing right on top of me.
She's one of those.
Yeah, she's walking right on top of me, and I accidentally sprayed her in the eye with chemical. Yeah, thank God she was
that close?
naive. She was that close. Thank God she just, it was so crazy because she said she was going to ruin me if we didn't come and treat that day.
Crazy.
But yet I sprayed her in the eye and nothing came of it, which is just
Really
unbelievable.
interesting.
Yeah, I was like, just rinse it out,
So
because I had no idea what I was talking about either. I mean, that's so dangerous. So dangerous. I should have had her wash her eyes out immediately. Yeah. And that was the first and last day.
Yeah.
Johnny fired me that day from the field, and I retired to the office.
Yeah.
And
where you're needed.
Where I'm needed behind a computer, and talking to people. Yeah.
So you probably, this woman, I'm assuming you won't be inviting her to your property.
I don't even know what her name. No,
okay.
I don't even know what her name is.
Well, if you did, don't share it.
I don't think. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. And I don't think she's a client. I think that was the last time we ever worked with her. So that was a great learning experience for me. That I shouldn't be a technician.
Yeah. Actually, so
I needed training, and back then I wasn't even thinking, oh gosh, training manuals.
Yeah. So you learned a little bit.
Yeah.
The other story I'd like for you to share, because I know this is where you kind of made your mark, and this is, I think you're kind of known for this, but tell us about the bats.
Yeah.
The bats in the belfry.
Bats in the belfry. So I think that was 2020. So we were about a year and a half, 2 years old. A gentleman called me and said, this church has bats. I don't know where they're at. I can't find them. But they called me. I do a little bit of wildlife, but not a lot. And somebody told me about you. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, and so Johnny went out for an inspection, and a lot of people had actually gone out for an inspection and could not find the bats at all. But there was guano everywhere.
But they're there.
Yeah, and guano's bat poop, by the way.
Right.
So you know that.
Okay.
And so Johnny looked at the plans he could tell that somebody had added on to the church. And when they added on, they actually added on to the existing roof. Oh. So when you're in the attic of this church, there's another roof.
Wow.
Yeah, and so Johnny said, hey, listen, I need to cut into this roof because they're in here. And so Johnny cut a hole. And we actually have video of what it's like in this documentary. It's basically like a cave. There was over 1,000 bats in this church that had been living for decades. They had urinated so much they created stalactites with their urine, which is normally created with water in caves.
Oh, like
when the water drips down over and over and over
builds
again.
Over time.
Right, it builds stalactites. It's creates stalactites. The bats had urinated so much it created urine stalactites.
How big was this attic?
Huge. It was pretty big.
Or this extra,
yeah.
not really an attic, but this extra roof area.
Yeah, and then we discovered that the bats were able to go down to the wall cavities, and actually the wall cavities were full of guano as well. So
oh my goodness.
The church was really historical, and the owners really wanted to bring it back to its original state. And I knew it was the biggest job we'd probably ever get. Well, I thought at the time it was going to be the biggest job we ever got. And so I had just happened to run into a guy named Colin who was starting his company, a videography company. And for $5,000 back in 2020, I got this video made. It's a 20-minute documentary.
It's on YouTube?
Yep, it's on YouTube.
How do you find, what's the best
Bats in the Belfry, Zionsville.
Oh, it's actually called Bats in the Belfry, Zionsville. Okay.
Yep. Really cool.
Okay.
Really, really cool video. And it put us on the map.
Right.
We were able to use it as a tool to show people the work we did, and it really made people understand.
And then get a story to tell.
Yeah, a story, but then also help people understand how thorough you have to be and how detailed you have to be. A lot of people try to get into the wildlife space, and they're very unsuccessful. A bat can get into the circumference of a pencil. Yeah, so a bat can get into the size of a pencil.
It can be that small.
It can be that small, yeah. And so you can't miss any holes. If you miss one hole, they're all back.
I saw you online. I think you were on some kind of, what was that indie show? You brought a bag of bat
guano,
poop.
Yeah,
into the studio.
Yeah, guano and mice poop look identical. And that's actually one of the biggest problems we're facing now with real estate transactions is the inspectors go and they'll know that it's rodents. Well, rodents is a very minor issue in a home. Everyone has rodents, right?
Oh, okay.
Bats are not. Bats are a much larger issue. A lot of insurance companies actually help remediate the situation. But with bats, their guano can release spores into the air that can cause histoplasmosis, which is a deadly disease according to the CDC. So it's a big deal.
It's a health hazard.
It's a health hazard. That's why a lot of insurance companies take care of the remediation side for us.
What was that? What show were you on? Was it the indie show you were on?
Indy Now.
Yeah, Indy Now.
Yeah.
Were you able to convince that woman to join your company?
No.
I didn't think so. So
she was too scared of animals.
So going back to the bats, I do have two follow-up questions. So, observation. Number one, what's cool about that video, people are probably thinking, if they can handle that, they can handle anything.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you a dumb question. So do you capture bats or do you release bats?
Yeah, so you can't physically grab a bat out of an attic and take it somewhere and relocate it.
Right.
They're federally protected. So what we have to do is we have to look at a house, and we're finding those 1/4 inch or larger entry points.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And so all of our jobs start with an inspection, and we take pictures of every entry point. And typically you're talking like 20 to 100 entry points. We seal all of those. And you can't use caulking because mice and squirrels chew caulking. So a lot of it's metal work. And so we will seal every entry point but one. On that one, we install a bat valve that we put at a certain degree that allows the bats to fly out but not back in. And this can only be done during certain times. So we only have about like 5 months a year where we can remove bats. So if right now you called us.
Otherwise there's no activity?
Yeah, right now we're in maternity season.
Okay.
So in Indiana, the little brown and big brown bat have a blackout season for maternity season June 1st through August 15th. So we're not allowed to remove bats during that time because the mother bat, when she gives birth to her one pup every year, when the pup is still very small, it rides on her back. And they go out and forage. She forages for food. When the bat starts to get too big for her to fly with, she keeps it in the nursery and flies out. If you were to seal up the house and put the bat valve in, she would leave the babies in there. The adult would fly out and the babies are left in. Yeah, and then they die. And we see this a lot. and addicts will see a lot of providers not go by federal regulations, and we'll go to people's houses and we will find dead bats. We'll find dead baby bats.
Again, those standards.
Yeah. And then when the degrees is under 40 consecutively all day, it has to hit 40 degrees for bugs to fly, basically. When the bugs fly, the bats fly. So in between November and April, you can't do anything. They won't even fly.
They won't even fly.
You can't even get them out. So we basically have May, and then we have August 15th through September, October.
And this church was in October?
Yeah, this church, it started in the spring. We paused. We picked it back up.
That was my next question. How much time did it actually take to do this?
I think it was a 6-month project.
Wow.
We had to work with quite a few people to get the job done. We had to take off all the siding of the entire church, clean out all the wall cavities, scrape off all the stalactites. I think we removed four 20-yard dumpsters of guano.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a dirty job.
A dirty job.
That's a dirty job. We should get you on TV with that guy, the dirty job.
I know. After we did the short documentary, a lot of people were like, "Man, you guys could make a reality TV show out of this." And we actually were interviewed 2 years ago to be on a reality TV show, but we didn't make it on.
Dirty jobs type thing.
Yeah, but we didn't make it on.
Oh,
so
that's too bad.
Maybe next time.
Okay, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Just real quickly, what services are typically in highest demand?
Yeah. When we first started the business, we were 95% wildlife. As the business has grown and we're looking to scale to create more opportunities for our team members, with the wildlife, those are one-off jobs for us. So we have to go and find that money every year to scale. We have really, really been putting a lot of focus on our reoccurring memberships so that we're able to scale and so that we're able to create more opportunities for team members. So right now our focus is on reoccurring memberships. We're 60-40.
So you're doing a lot on the pest side now?
Yeah, we're 40% pest control, 60% wildlife.
Okay.
And we're hoping within 3 years that those two numbers are reversed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we would like to be 60% pest control, 40% wildlife by 2029.
And you do residential, commercial, industrial,
yep.
wherever the need is.
We're 90% residential, 10% commercial.
Okay.
We're also really, really revving up on commercial.
Okay.
We've realized in order to again create more opportunities for our team members to have more and more people under them, we need to create more opportunities through commercial.
I'm sure there's work to be done.
Yeah, and in the winter too. A lot of residential people here in Indiana don't need pest control in December or February, whereas restaurants, food plants, data centers, things like that, they need constant.
Okay. Given LadyBug's reputation and success, I'm sure there are a number of reasons why your customers love you and keep coming back. What do you think those reasons are? Have they told you that, or do you have an idea what that reason is?
So I just recently adopted EOS, and our 3 uniques are, one is communication.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that's not unique, but in today's AI world or the generations that we have, communication's really rare.
It's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. And
it could be in my opinion, I think good communication, responsiveness, empathy, attention to detail, those are going to be differentiators in the future.
Exactly.
We might be in it right now.
I think so. And that's why my number one unique is communication.
Good.
I do believe that is why we're as successful as we are in keeping our reoccurring clients. We have less than a 1% churn on our reoccurring memberships.
Way below the national average.
Way below, yeah. And that is because we communicate.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I actually just adopted a new policy in my office because we text as well. Our clients can call and text.
Texting,
It's become an issue. I think when somebody has an issue and we're texting about it, it's a problem.
I think it's good. I think it's good for some communications.
But
the dialogue can't keep.
I have a lot of young people. My office, there's nobody over the age of 23 that works in my office.
Oh.
And trust me, they would prefer to text
Everything.
in uncomfortable situations where people might need to discuss
I like
something.
phone.
Yeah. And I have adopted a new policy that just went into place last month. We're not allowed to text anything over 250 characters.
Yeah, and I believe if there's legitimate urgency, what we do at Element 212, if there is a obvious problem, something that needs immediate attention, get on the phone is going to be the best way to handle it.
It's hard to teach these younger children.
It's not the easiest way. It's the best way.
It's the best way, and they're used to texting, and it's so incredible. Since I implemented this, they've come back to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, problems aren't actually problems."
Yeah.
It's like, yes, because as soon as you picked up the phone, you've comforted this client now.
Yeah.
You've heard them out.
Now
Even if you're not even
time.
fixing their problem, you're listening to them.
People want to be heard.
They want to be heard, and they can't be heard through text message, and your tone can't come through.
It actually creates a lot of anxiety and stress and anger. It gets people fired up.
Yeah, it does. And so since implementing this, we've seen a decrease in our cancellations as well, even more than the 1% churn. And not only that, but more happiness for my CSRs.
I bet.
They're not as stressed out because they thought these people were angry or really upset because, they're coming across that way. But if you just pick up the phone and have a conversation with somebody, it's quicker and it's off your plate and they're happy and they're heard. And so, we have a new rule, nothing over 250 characters in text messages.
I think that's really smart. And I bet you if I sat down with 20 business owners, I don't think too many people would put communication in their top 3.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think that's going to, if we're not in it today, we are very soon.
What are the other 2?
My marketing, which is really unique. I don't think a lot of people have the background that I have on how marketing works, how buyers' minds work, how their eyes shift to different things. So my marketing's super, super unique.
Why the LadyBug, by the way? Why did you call it the LadyBug?
My mom named it.
Oh.
Yeah, I called her and I was like, I think I've got everything together. Like, I just have to come up with the name. And she's like, well, how about LadyBug? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius.
Okay.
And it stuck.
Maybe your mom just keeps helping you.
Yeah, I know. At first, Johnny was like, okay, LadyBug. Because I was like, yeah, you're going to go be a ladybug.
I get it.
Yeah, and he was like, okay. And his brother asked him probably like 6 months in, like, doesn't this bother you that she's created a business that's feminine and you're a ladybug? And he's like, no.
Okay.
No, not when I see what's happening to our life. It really got turned upside down from having $60 in our bank account to I think we ended at $700,000 in 7 months. That's our first year.
You're very fortunate to have your mom, because when we came up to Element 212, we spent many, many hours. We didn't think to call our mothers. We just sat there for like 2 or 3 weekends all day and
I can't believe it fell into my lap.
Should have called your mom.
Yeah, and even today, I would say probably 20% of people that call in say, "I just love your name." It's a compliment we get a lot.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a third one?
Yeah, our third one, and I'm trying to remember this, so I was hoping you actually weren't going to ask me.
Well, then I won't.
Because I can't remember right now what the third unique is.
That's okay. That's okay. So you feel your customers, your clients love you because of your communication, your responsiveness,
yes,
your attentiveness. You do believe they respond well to your marketing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
If you remember it, my last question is going to be, my very final question is going to be, is there anything else about you, your industry, your business, your company, anything like that? If it comes back to you, you can share it then.
Okay.
So what makes your business a great place to work? We talk a lot about the customer side a lot. That's easy to do, but I think you mentioned how you have some employees that have been there, 3 of them since 2019. So obviously, I believe that if you have a good place to work, your customers are going to feel that, And it sounds like that's also reverse, right? So what makes your business a great place to work? What kind of environment have you created? What kind of opportunities that have allowed people to make it a career versus a job?
Yeah. When Jadin, when I watched Jadin, basically stop going to high school and start a career.
Yeah.
I watched him get ahead, and he's still ahead today. Even I'm even watching young men and women his age get out of college, and I know how much debt they're in. I've been there, and I see he's already making more than they're probably making at a starter
With
job.
no debt.
With no debt, yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, as the visionary for LadyBug, my job is to help people see my vision and where I'm going. And for the first 2 or 3 years, it was about survival. It was paying bills, making sure this would work.
Keeping the doors open.
Making sure the employees I did have were paid.
Trying to figure out how to serve the customer.
Right. All of it. It was just pure survival. And then at one point things changed for me, like the bills were paid. I stopped obsessing stopped looking at the bank account 10 times a day, and things just kind of leveled out to where my nervous system kind of settled, and I started to get really bored.
Oh.
Yeah, really bored. People started operating the business for me.
That boredom again.
Yeah. I started kind of like not having a role in the business as much, like not answering the phones anymore.
You weren't being challenged enough.
Right. Right. And so I started asking myself, like, why am I doing this? Because I would still have the heartache of things or the stress of things. I just kept asking myself, like, how much money do I really need? And what is the purpose of this? Yeah. And I really had to like take some time to myself and ask myself, like, what am I doing and where do I stop? And, Johnny's constantly asking the same question around this, probably like 22, the 2022, and like, how much is enough? Where are we headed? And what are you doing? Because you just keep hiring and adding more trucks, and it's not stopping.
So it kind of flipped. So you started out with, we have bills to pay, we got to survive. Now you're faced with, okay, we have this great opportunity. Where are we going?
Yeah, what happens now? Where do we go?
What's next?
Yeah, and Johnny and I don't have the same vision, which has been very challenging. His vision is to live simple.
Okay.
And
content,
a little bit of passive income to get by.
So he's not driven by the next goal per se.
No, he's not, and that's okay. He didn't want this. He wanted to survive.
Yeah.
And he wanted to thrive. And I decided in 2022 I wanted something a little different. Jadin started bringing on a lot of friends because we started needing employees a lot.
Right. Okay.
And so he would bring on 2-3 friends at a time. That decided not to go to college.
And you would train them and onboard them?
Yeah, and I started saying to myself, like, boy, I'm doing something really risky here. I'm telling young children, young adults, skip all this and come over here to my side. And I decided that was a pretty heavy burden for me to carry, but one I wanted to see through. And so I've told a lot of these young kids, like, come with me. I'll teach you what college could in 4 years. Come work for me.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Show it, prove it.
Yeah. Stay with me
Support
for
it.
3-4 years and see where you're at the end. And I guarantee you'll be in a better spot than you would have been if you went to a traditional college. And so that's what gets me up and keeps me up every night and makes me wake up at 6 a.m. every day, is just knowing that I have convinced a group of young men and women that I would provide for them,
That's
that I would take
wonderful.
them to the top, teach them things to get them there. And I just keep telling them, like, this business is yours.
So
I don't know what that looks like. Maybe profit sharing at some point for us. But I do know that they're all my legacy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you definitely feel it's a career path for many years.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, 100%.
That's wonderful.
Here's the thing, and this is what I tell everybody that comes to work at LadyBug, if you're not willing to pursue better and be coachable, trainable, this is not the place for you, because we're trying to scale the business. In order to scale the business, we kind of have to be like snakes. We have to be all in, but we have to shed that skin.
I like that.
Constantly.
Yeah, growth.
Yeah, we have to shed skin.
A better version of yourself all the time.
Yeah, like you have to be reading. You have to be listening to podcasts. You have to be coachable. And if you're not in the right seat, and you have to go.
So it's not just you as an owner and a leader. You actually have your team members immersing themselves in industry knowledge. And
have to, or they're out.
Wow.
Have to, or they're out, because we have to scale this. But we have no choice.
I can't do it by myself. You can't do it all by yourself.
Right. So
I love
if these young kids want to come in and make something of themselves, then they'll have to
be a part of that journey.
They'll have to do it with me.
Yeah, they can't just sit back and watch it.
Nobody gets to sit back and watch. Nobody. And that does hit for some high retention of employees, especially as we shed our skin. I mean, I am not afraid to change. I'm not afraid to take risk and grow, especially right now with AI. I'll make a change and I'll implement it quick. And my team has to be on board and willing to make that change very fast. Yeah. And I think that's actually why we're growing so much. I mean, we're up 37% this year on reoccurring memberships.
It's really great.
Which we've honed all of our focus on. You know, we decided, hey, if we're going to grow this business for all of these young men and women, we have to have a model behind us that's reoccurring. And so we shifted. And this year, our wildlife is stagnant, but our reoccurring's up. So they've really proven to me that they want to scale this business. And I just keep telling them, like, guys, not only do you have to know how to do your job, but you have to now know how to train people under you. We have to get more and more people under you so that you actually do have a career.
That's really great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And the people that they get it, they love it.
And the people that don't are out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just won't fit, won't work.
No. 100% of people and 100% the right seats to be able to scale.
Okay.
Yeah, I really believe that EOS concept of 100% people and 100% the right seat.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
That naturally leads to a question I have for you. One of the things you shared in our pre-interview discussion was you lead with process, and we talked about that. You obsess over details, that's clear. But I like what you said. You said, and we are just getting started. So tell me, what does the future of the LadyBug Pest and Wildlife Control look like? What are your plans for the future? Yeah. I know that's a loaded question.
No. So I just learned what an SOP was last June.
Okay.
1 year ago. I've been in business for 6 years.
You were doing it.
Well, I wasn't even really processing.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
No, I wasn't documenting what we were doing. And so in June, I was introduced to the concept of written procedures.
Okay.
And we're about 30% done. There's a lot of procedures with wildlife. The pest control side, we could write it easy. I mean, that it is easy. The wildlife side, animals are unpredictable.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. We don't find all the entry points every single time. Yeah. It's impossible for a human to do that.
Wow.
Especially in our areas, the Zionsville, Westfield, Carmel, Fishers, Geist, those houses and townhouses require 40, 60-foot ladders just to find those entry points. And those ladders require 2 or 3 people. So sometimes even an inspection, like on a townhouse, requires me to have 2 technicians just to do an inspection.
So is the entry point often like behind the gutters, under the roof,
chimney? Oh yeah.
It's usually high. It's usually high on the
really high. Yep. But even then, if you exclude that's all up high, they'll go in through the basement.
I was gonna say, then you also have the basement.
Yeah,
so it's low and high.
Most animals, you have to think, they have nothing to do all day long but figure out how to get back in their house.
Yeah, I had some. We have some friends that just recently enjoyed a squirrel running through their house with 3 dogs.
Oh, I bet. I bet that was insane.
It was, yeah. Okay, so before wrapping up, if you could share 1 or 2 pieces of advice for other family business owners, what would it be?
Yeah, my number 1 would be right processes.
Okay.
I wish so bad. Don't wait
until you're 6 or 7. Yeah.
Because what happened was we were ready to blow up.
Yeah, but in all fairness, you were just figuring it out.
I literally taught myself QuickBooks, everything.
Yeah.
I literally knew nothing besides marketing.
I mean, you're taking...
Which is why we're successful.
Right, but you needed the time just to do it, let alone document it.
Right, yeah. And so we probably would be, $6-7 million business today if I had started that. I would be twice as big as I am today. I also wouldn't have disappointed so many people. Because
how do you mean? What do you mean by that?
By not having processes, I let my employees down, my former employees down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, every single person that quit or got fired, I take on the chin. Like, that's my fault.
You take it personally?
Yeah, 100%.
It's a burden you put on yourself?
Yeah, because I didn't have processes in place. Mm-hmm. So everything was based off of emotion.
Everything
was based off of emotion. Hiring, firing, having conversations. Had I had processes in place, core values in place, had I started from the beginning foundation, it would have been easier for my people, for me. So that's the number one thing I would say is I wish I would have done processes and just written things down.
Yeah. Processes do change though.
They do, yeah. So I mean,
that's the fun side.
Yeah, that would have been. I don't think I would have kept up with it.
Just so you know, as soon as you finish the 70% you're still working on.
Oh, I know. Oh, trust me.
They'll be updated all the time.
That's actually why we're not further, because everything keeps changing, and we don't even have time to write what's happening. I just recently now have a full-time person writing SOPs right now, just to get us on track.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're 7 years behind.
Yeah.
I have to get these. If I want to scale and really make this something bigger for my people, we have to have that in place.
After 7 years, you still find yourself having aha moments and moments?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
so
too.
That would be my number one advice, would be the SOP. And then number 2 would be therapy. I wish I would have started therapy a lot sooner on my entrepreneurial journey.
Interesting.
I was emotionally immature for 6 years of running this business. It wasn't until last year when I decided to start therapy that I'd been able to tap into my fullest potential to give back to people. Mm-hmm.
So your family's benefited from that. Your team's benefited.
Everybody's benefited
and
from.
And of course, you have
100%. I just I wasn't taught how to be an emotionalist leader. Mm-hmm. I had no idea how to even be a leader.
Emotions are good. They have their place.
Yeah, and I want to be my goal in therapy is to be an emotionalist, empathy-driven leader.
Yes.
And so I didn't even understand those words until I started therapy and understanding like the feelings I was having with being an entrepreneur. I felt, like a failure a lot. And through therapy, I was able to work through learning how to control myself, how to control my emotions, and how to show up differently for people when they needed me the most.
That's great.
So I wish I would have dove into myself a little bit more, but I didn't even understand I needed to be a leader until last year. It's the entrepreneur journey is so unique for each person, and I just didn't realize I needed to learn more. Yeah.
Interesting. So how you still go?
Yeah.
So is it a weekly?
Tuesdays at 7 a.m.
Tuesdays at 7. After your espresso.
Right after my espresso and reading, yeah. And she's amazing. Her name's also Jaclyn. And she does not let me make any excuses for myself, which is awesome. But she's very loving and kind, but tells me straight up what's up.
That's good though. Life is hard. It's hard to be a business owner. It's hard to be a spouse. It's hard to be a parent. It's hard to exist just roaming around amongst strangers. It's just
it's hard. It's
life
hard.
is hard.
Yeah, but she helps me, but she also it's so incredible. What I've learned since October is however much I know about myself is however much the company's going to grow. And the more I grow as a person, the more my company grows. And that trickles down. So my managers, when they stop growing, my company stops growing.
Oh.
And that's what I really discovered
From
about
the top
myself.
down, yeah, it's true.
That's probably actually, what I discovered more than anything in therapy was if I stop growing, the company stops.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
If I stop growing, the company stops growing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is a loaded question, but, is there anything else about yourself, the company, your team, your industry that you would like to share that you haven't yet?
One really cool thing that I just want to reiterate that I'm doing is I'm taking a lot of young people that otherwise would not go to college. They've decided against that. It's just not for them.
Yeah.
And I really, like I said in the beginning, I really resonate with that because it was boring for me. And I just didn't get anything out of it. And so I'm really just trying to take those people and find opportunities for them.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Where can listeners find more about you and your business, The Ladybug?
Yeah. Our website's calltheladybug.com.
TheLadybug.com?
Call the Ladybug.
CallTheLadybug.com.
Yep. I tried to get the Ladybug.com.
When you said that, I'm like, doesn't sound right.
Well, somebody wanted $25,000 for it when I first started the business. So I said, I'm just going to put call in front of it. It's jingly. So
we have a couple of clients that did the same thing, and ironically, they put call in front of it as well.
Yeah, it worked out perfect. But the best way to get to know us is our Facebook page.
Okay.
That's actually where we're very
Post a lot of your videos.
We're really good at Facebook
stories.
marketing. Yep. We actually just created a character. His name's Boone, the raccoon.
Boone.
Yep. We got a mascot, and 2 hours a week he goes out into the community to spread joy and love to people. So
he's a raccoon.
He's a raccoon.
Didn't you share in the beginning that your business kind of started with a raccoon?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
So Boone goes to like ribbon cuttings or just different children's events. He's going to be reading at the library soon. So just trying to get back to our community in that way. So
Boone the Coon.
Boone the Coon. Yeah. That's a good one. I'm going to have to tell my marketing director that. She'll love that.
I like that a lot. Okay. That's wonderful. So your website, Facebook, and then are you on LinkedIn yourself?
I am, yeah.
Are you?
LinkedIn, yeah.
Okay, so just put in Jaclyn Ricci.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay. Well, this was fun. This was interesting.
It was very fun.
This was fun. This was interesting. This was informative. I learned a lot. There's a lot going on in your world.
There's a lot.
A lot going on in your head too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the superpower I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, my therapist. This is one last thing I'll tell you. My therapist, when I first started going to therapy, I used to think that ADHD was something bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a superpower, and
It has to
other
be
people
controlled.
just can't keep up with me.
Yeah. It definitely has to be monitored and controlled to a certain degree.
Yeah. My ADHD is I hyper focus on things.
Yeah.
And I'm like a dog with a bone.
Okay.
You cannot get it out of my mouth until I'm finished.
Okay.
So that's the kind of ADHD I have. I just latch onto things and I have to solve the issue until it's solved.
So if you have a rebrand, you'll go from the Ladybug to Dogbone Pest and Wildlife Control.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Johnny wants a company called Man Beetle.
Man
Beetle. So
that's funny. Yeah. Well, seriously, thank you for educating us, informing us, entertaining us. This is fun. We learned about you right off the get go. We learned about your company. We learned about your industry. We learned about your team. We learned a little about your customer, and we learned that you will never go in the field ever again.
Never again. No.
You don't need that. You got enough. You got a good team to do that.
If everybody wants to see correctly, keep me out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Up in Your Family Business is sponsored and produced by Element 212, the marketing agency for family-owned businesses. Please follow and share Up in Your Family Business with another owner or leader. Until the next time, may you, your family, your team, your customers, and your community be blessed.